Are we streaming? It says we're streaming. Says we're excellent. Good morning. Happy Saturday, July 20th. Had to check the time and date. 8:01 a.m. in the Central. I hope you can hear me. If you can hear me, let me know. I'm going to mute my computer and I'm going to so that we don't get any crazy feedback. And I guess let me check it out from my phone. See if we are live this morning. Let's see here. And actually somebody just pinged me and asked if we were streaming. I say live right now. So not sure how many of you here. Like I said, happy Saturday. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me. And let me just pull up even on my phone and see how the stream looks. Let's see here. youtube.com/Willie Howe. Because I'm not seeing inside of OBS. I'm not seeing any anybody. Says there's 7 of you. So good morning. Let me know. Now there's 13 of you. That's beautiful. Is there a live stream? Is that or a live chat? Let me see. Does this thing not have chat enabled? Let me see. It says chat rate 7. Yeah, I'm still getting used to the way that OBS does this. Yeah, so everybody's like, quick, distract him on Signal. So let me see. I'm not seeing. Why am I not seeing the chat? There's 7 of you here. Did they disable? Is the live chat disabled? Let me see here. Let me pull up a web browser. I didn't really want to reopen my web browser while I was doing this, but let me do it just to make sure, because I mean the live chat's part of the deal here, right? So let me get logged in. Give me just a second. I think I can edit it on the fly, and maybe it's there. I just can't see it in OBS. So let's see here. Content live. It says I'm live. Let's see if live chat is enabled. No, there's no AI. Comments are on. So I'll save that, but then let me go to customization. Yeah, it says live chat's on. So let's see if we can do youtube.com/Willie Howe/live so I can see. Aha, there's tons of you in the chat. I'm not seeing that in OBS, so I'm obviously doing something wrong, but we'll figure that out. I'll keep this up here. So good morning, Jacob Johnson, Aragon Strider, Doug, Sean, Jordan, Albert, Pike, James, good morning, brother. Jack Squat says loud and clear. Dave Robertson, chat is up. Michael Schneider says works. Good morning, Dave Robertson. Aragon Strider says insufficient likes for the number of viewers. I agree. Good morning, Jeremy. Jay Darwar, good morning. All right, so everybody is coming in this morning. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. It's been a while since we did a live stream. And so I got a surprise box of stuff from Ubiquiti. I'm going to switch back and forth between what I can see in real time and what the YouTube is. But I got this box from Ubiquiti. Literally just showed up yesterday. And it weighs 13 pounds. And I have absolutely no idea what's in it. So we are going to open it together and see what is in the box. This is not like, I don't think this is like the ending of the movie 7. I hope it's not like the ending of the movie 7. But I'm going to open the box. So let's see what we got going on here. Wasn't really expecting anything. Alright, so you're going to find this cool. The first thing that I have, packing bubbles. Oh man. And this box is full of cabling. All right, so the first thing we've got here, this is a 2-meter patch cable, and there's a bunch of these in there. Let's see, this one's 3 meters. Another 3-meter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set them here, but they need to go back in the box because I'm actually trying to keep my office clean. So I'm just going to set those here, and we're going to go through them and see what else we have in the box. All right, 8-meter patch cable. Here is a 0.5-meter 10 gig DAC. Let's see. Another 0.5-meter 10 gig DAC. Another 0.5-meter 10 gig DAC. This is a 3-meter 10 gig DAC. Thank you to Ubiquiti for sending out these cables. Having cabling is always something that is appreciated. I'm always scrounging too for cables, and like you can see back in the rack, like all my cables are different colors, and I'm just not that fancy, right? I don't have that kind of I don't want to call it OCD, but I don't have that kind of obsession where my lab rack has to have, you know, certain color cables and certain lengths, but I definitely run out of them. Here's a 1-meter patch cable. Let's just grab a whole handful of these. 1-meter patch cable. 1-meter patch cable. This is what the 1-meter patch cables look like in case you're interested. 1 meter. 1 meter. 2 meters. 1 meter. 2 meters. I am definitely not going to run out of cables anytime soon. So thanks, Ubiquiti. Here's a 5-meter cable. What's this one? Another 5-meter and another 3-meter. All right, what? The box just keeps going. 3-meter, 8-meter, 8-meter, 3-meter, 5-meter, 5-meter. I'm not even halfway through this box yet. 1 meter, 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter, 5 meter, 6 meter, 7 meter, 8 meter, 8 meter. Another 8 meter. Another 1 meter. Another 2 meter. Now this was smart on their part, right? Because if they want people who are doing their videos to be Ubiquiti from end to end, like when we're doing the Ubiquiti videos, it's very smart of them to send these cables out. Because otherwise, I'm using like this multicolored mess of cables that's not Ubiquiti cabling. All right, so now we've got, this is another 5-meter DAC. This one is aqua in color, but it's still 10 gigs, so I'm not sure. Here's a 5-meter, a 5-meter, 1 meter, 1 meter. All right, let's see. Here's a 5-meter RJ45. Here's a 3-meter, and you know what? I'm 100% sure that there's got to be something different about some of these DACs. So there is a difference because the DAC cables, the cable's actually thicker. So this, I don't know, what is this? This is, I'm going to have to look up and see what the difference is between the UACC AOC and the UACC DAC. I don't know, this looks more like fiber instead of that nice thick DAC cable that we're used to. Here's another 3 meter. Here's a 5 meter patch cable. Holy cow, what else is in the box here? All right, so now we got a bunch of these 0.3 meter patch cables. A bunch of these. I mean, holy cow, Ubiquiti. 0.3 meters. Yeah, these are all 0.3 meters. So what is that? 0.3 meters. Is that a foot? I can't remember. All right, what is this? Ether lighting patch cable. This is a 15 meter ether lighting patch cable. That's probably like $500 cable right there. I'm kidding. I don't know what it is. Here's the 0.15 meter 24 pack. So these are the shorty shorts that you've seen me use before. All right, what is this? Ether lighting patch cable 24 pack again. All right, what is this? Ether lighting patch cable 5 meter. So a single 5 meter ether lighting patch cable in this box right here. I thought we were getting pretty good with getting a little bit more responsible with our packaging, but there is a single 12 meter patch cable inside this box. I mean, it is what it is, right? 2 steps forward, 1 steps back when it comes to cabling. Let's see, what is this? Ether lighting patch cable 0.3, so 1 footer coming in this box. I mean, there are so many patch cables in here. What is this one? This is a single 8 meter patch cable. Oh, what is this bigger box in here? What is this? Cloud Gateway Max. So they shipped me one of these. You've seen other creators do videos on them. And just got mine. So it's my understanding, and I'm not going to open this right now because anytime we do Ubiquiti content, we want to make sure that we review it for accuracy. And I've not had my hands on this, but it's my understanding that this is basically a small form factor UDM Pro or UDM SE. So there'll be a video coming on that pretty soon. I'm going to go ahead before I forget. So thank you, Ubiquiti, for sending that stuff out. I'm going to go ahead and put all these cables and stuff, at least start the process of putting it back in here. If I don't do it, it won't happen. And then later I'll be upset with myself because I left it sitting here. I'm trying to really get better about that. So, what else is going on, right? So, today, later this afternoon, I'm going to send out a bid for a 50-room hotel, complete makeover with Grand Stream from tip to stern. So, I'm pretty excited about that. All right, all the cables are back in the box. Let's head over to the chat real quick, see what the chat's saying. All right, let's see here. Morning, Cody. Let's see. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Yeah, where's the heavy metal? Don't that'd be hilarious. Don't they just have a packing list you could read? So they have a packing list, but it was buried in the bottom of the box, and it's actually 2 different packing lists. But it's fun to look through the box of stuff. 13 pounds of cables. I don't know how much that little router weighs, but is that a price tag on your hat? No, that is not a price tag on my hat. That is a sticker. That is actually an enamel pin that my friend Joe sent me. This says it's always DNS. But if you were around yesterday, it's always CrowdStrike. That's supposed to be a joke. Jack Squat says, are those 48 port Grandstream switches in the rack? Yes, they are. So I actually have my GCC 6010 sitting here where you can't see it. It actually has my DJI Mini 3 drone sitting on top of it. I am working on my 107 certification. But yeah, you can't really see it really well, but there are two 48 port switches in the rack. One's layer 2, one's layer 3. I've got a 24 port layer 3 switch. I've got a 12 port aggregation switch. And so you're going to see more GCC videos. I'm super excited about the GCC. If you are not excited about the GCC, let me know what I can do to get you excited, because this box right here. So like I said in the video, I bought one because I didn't get a notification that Grandstream was going to send me one. So I paid for one, and then Grandstream ended up sending me one. But this, honestly, this box, the GCC, I keep calling it a router firewall to grab people's attention, but it's the GCC is the Grandstream, converged communications line, right? So this has your PBX. It has that really advanced firewall that other vendors in this price point don't have. And you can say that, like Ubiquiti has it, but Ubiquiti at this level is not doing SSL inspection. And that's the next video that I'm working on for the GCC, because I know everybody wants to see that. And then we'll do a PBX setup. We're going to try to restore my PBX to it, see what happens. Might have to use the GDMS converter, maybe. I don't know if we can. I haven't gotten that far. So what else am I working on, right? That's always what people want to know. Like, what's going on? What you're working on? Let me go to the comments real quick. Morning, Tony. Willie, what's the latest video on the Ubiquiti gateway configuration? Well, I guess it is going to be this other box that they sent me that was inside all these cables. So you'll have to stay in tune with that. Dave Robertson says, I got my GCC this week. I like it so far. I haven't come across anything that I don't like in the GCC. Now, just like every other vendor, Grandstream is going to handle things a little bit differently, like configuring VPN, site-to-site VPN. It's a little bit different than, the TP-Link or the Synology or the Ubiquiti. Good morning, Charlie B. Jack says, open that GCC up in the next video. If I had a screwdriver right here, we could do it right now. You can see I started peeling the sticker, the warranty sticker. So these warranty stickers, I probably shouldn't be saying this out loud, but in the United States, these warranty stickers shouldn't mean anything. And in some countries, I know for a fact that they cannot void your warranty if you open the top. Now, if you modify the inside, that's a different story. But just taking the top off of this to take a look, they shouldn't be able to void our warranty in several places. Do I have a screwdriver here? The question isn't, do I have a screwdriver? The question is, do I have a screwdriver that fits? Hold on. All right. Just grabbed my little Craftsman low profile. If you don't have a screwdriver like this or a little ratchet that can take... Oh, these things are lifesavers. Let me see if this fits. It does not. Does not fit. Let's see, what else do I have within reach here that might... Oh, I think all my tools are in the other room, to be honest with you. Let's see what I got laying on the desk here. Oh, wait a minute. All right, let's see. This one has a little bit of a finer point on it. Let's see what happens. You're in luck. You're in luck. Now, normally I wouldn't do this live because there's a lot of profanity that sometimes goes along with this. But yeah, we're just going to do it. There's one screw that I'm going to try to not lose. Here comes the second one that was underneath that warranty sticker. And you could probably go, and I haven't tried this, but you could probably go on Amazon or eBay, and you can probably buy sheets of these warranty stickers if you're worried about it. but I'm not worrying about it. I do wonder, and that's one thing that I don't know about the hardware on the inside of this GCC, how they got this box to do everything it's doing, but only show so much memory. I know there's a lot of hardware in here to do some hardware offloading and things like that to make things more efficient. If you watched the speed test video that I did last week, let's see what happens when we get this thing apart. It'd be my luck I won't be able to get it back together. That's usually when the swearing and the threatening to hit things with a hammer. That's usually where that comes out. So let me see. I've got the screws out. Let's see if I can figure out how this comes off here. Now I know somebody else that has one of these, and I was just giving him a hard time. I was like, hey, take the thing apart. And I don't know if the grounding screw needs to come out. Oh, you know what? I wonder if the screw that holds the power cable in is also holding part of this case together. I would have thought it was just the... Oh yeah, that's short enough. I don't think that's doing anything, but we'll take it off there just in case. And for good measure, we'll remove the grounding lug and see what happens here. Yeah, that definitely wasn't holding anything either. Let's see here. I mean, when I'm pushing the metal in, it's definitely... Aha! It's a slider. Let's see here. Do I need to take my SFP covers out here? Maybe I didn't have to, but I thought it'd make it easier. Okay. All right, there is the outside case, and you're not going to believe how simple this looks on the inside. Now, I'm obviously no engineer. I mean, but I mean, this thing's got a lot going on for that being the only thing that's in the box. Now, there could be some stuff hiding underneath, but I don't see anything specifically there. But yeah, this thing does a lot for looking like it's pretty simple, but I'm not an engineer, and I'm sure this is actually complicated to fit all this together and to make it work properly. So, and I could, get, chip numbers and look all this stuff up, but this thing works well enough that I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to try to figure out how to slide it back together properly, which I'm totally screwing that up. Let's see here. The thing is, you got to get like the interfaces on the front have to go back properly. What did I do? Let's see here. All right. My problem is I'm afraid to break it, right? You ever do that? You take something apart, you're afraid to break it. So you're like handling it probably much more gingerly than what you should. And that's kind of what I got going on here. So what I'm going to do is set that aside so that I don't get frustrated at the moment. Take a step back from that, and I mean, I've almost got it. I just got to figure out how that comes up and slides. Oh, got it. Back together. See, just had to take a second. So I'll put all the screws and stuff back in, and I'm going to do some, we're going to do some site-to-site videos with these. James, if you've worked with us before, James just configured one of these yesterday or the day before for a client where we removed another vendor that you've seen here on the channel, and we replaced everything, phone system, networking, everything with GrandStream. And the customer actually couldn't be happier. So All right, let's go back over to the comments real quick before I show you what else I'm working on. Let's see. Let's see. Wow. So Jack Squat, there we did. We opened up the GCC for you. Michael Berg, good morning. Iron Fist, do you like the UDM Pro Max? I don't have a UDM Pro Max, so I don't know whether I like it or not. That's the one I think with 2 hard drives and all that. Never got one. I don't have a use case for one. If they want to send me one, I'll do a review on it, but I'm not going to go out and buy one out of my own pocket. The product it doesn't excite me that much. Is Grandstream going to release a Wi-Fi 7 AP? Not impressed with the Ubiquiti release, but TP-Link looks interesting. So Grandstream does have on their roadmap Wi-Fi 7 APs. They've got their Wi-Fi 6, their Wi-Fi 6E, and then they're going to have their Wi-Fi 7. So Jordan, every time, Jordan, you're commenting on all my videos asking about the ISP videos. And then I don't know if you're not reading the reply that I'm putting out there, Jordan. Jordan, this is for you. Jordan, as soon as Ubiquiti releases EdgeOS 3.0 for that big Infinity that's in the top of the rack up there, I will be doing more ISP videos, but I'm waiting for that. And I checked earlier this week and it wasn't there. So as soon as you see EdgeOS 3 released, we're going to get back on those ISP videos. Thanks for asking. None of my clients and I don't use CrowdStrike. Nope, we don't use CrowdStrike. Jay Darwar says, Willie, do you have any cybersecurity courses on Udemy that you can recommend for me to follow? I don't. I don't use Udemy. Maybe I should take a look at it. But if you are just getting into cybersecurity, even if you don't take the certification, which I actually recommend that you do, but buy a CompTIA Security Plus book because it's going to give you a nice, well-rounded, non-vendor. It's vendor neutral. And so you should definitely take a look at that. I always recommend the A+, the Network Plus, and the Security Plus to get you a nice solid foundation. Let's see here. Somebody says, thankfully they use Huntress. Yeah, yesterday was a mess, Thursday night. So Jack Squat says, word is that the GCC 6010W and the GCC 6011 won't be released until December at the earliest. Yeah, I'm still waiting on that. I'm waiting on a couple access points too. So let's see. Doug says Huntress is amazing and a lot of development in the works if you follow Tradecraft Tuesdays. So yeah, I don't use Huntress. I have clients who use Huntress, and I don't use CrowdStrike, but I have clients who use CrowdStrike. We use a different stack. But this could happen to anybody. This could happen to anybody who uses any software where you don't control the updates. Even if your EDR solution is on-prem, right? It could take a bad update and you could push the bad updates to the clients. I mean, this is this is a risk of third-party software. Totally. So let's see here. I'm not sure what Jack is responding to where he says unscripted, but yeah, this totally thing is unscripted. Let's see. Windows security is a hot mess, but it keeps people employed. Hello, Mobile Mike from France. Yeah, I mean, anytime you're trusting a third party to do anything for you, it involves trust, right? And I've got some videos that I'm going to be doing because I actually have a list of requirements that I have created when we want to use a cloud service, right? It has to meet these requirements. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to say, no, you can't use them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to review it and I'm going to give you a recommendation based on the answers to the questions that they come back with. Good morning, Tech Talk. Let's see. Malochio says, I am considering Grandstream to replace all the ESWs we have deployed. What's ESW? Is that Edge Switch? Tyson, good morning. All right, so what else do I have going on? I can't really talk about it too much at the moment, but I do have some Ubiquiti AI Pro cameras. That's one thing. I'm really happy with how Protect is turning out. Protect is really stepping up. So I've got that. I've got a TerraMaster NAS down here that we've got to look at. But before we look at the TerraMaster, I want to thank Seagate Seagate sent me a couple 6 terabyte hard drives for this other NAS that I have. And you might be asking yourself, well, what NAS is that? And this is the QNAP TS216G. So I'm going to be working on this video this week. This does have 2.5 gig, a 1 gig. I think it ships with, let's see. It doesn't tell me how much memory it has, but I think it has 4 gig of memory. Oh, yeah. Jeez Louise. 4 gig right there, right on the front. And this does have an MPU in it, so a neural processing unit processor. It is a quad-core 64-bit ARM processor. It says it does accelerated transcoding. It's hot swappable. So we are going to get this fired up. I've got some more Teltonica routers. I've got some... I have a whole lineup of industrial switches for us to take a look at. So I'm going to tell you this... Malochio, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I don't think you'll be disappointed if you replace your edge switches with Grandstream layer 3 switches, if that's what you're looking for is the layer 3. Because these switches, they do full, it's full OSPF routing on the layer 3 side, and they're fantastic switches. So the other thing that I'm working on, that I'm hoping to be able to get done, hopefully this week, but I've had people asking me what is the difference between the GWN routers and the GCC series. So the GWN routers, and so I'm going to just do like a side-by-side comparison list, but the GWN routers are strictly just the GWN routers, right? They do the firewalling, but they don't do it as advanced as the GCC. So right now, the GWNs are not going to do SSL inspection for us. They're also not going to manage your phone system, or So it's like comparing an edge router and a UDM, right? So you've got the GCC and you've got the GWN, 2 different classes of devices. No, EdgeOS 3.0 is supposed to be coming out, and that is what is holding, unless they're going to send me like a UISP router that I don't know anything about, the Edge Router Infinity is what I'm working with. So, and I'm actually later today have to do a config for a customer where we're taking 3 Netgear routers and we're consolidating 3 routers into an Infinity config. FreeBS says, does Grandstream charge for the cloud access? They do not charge for cloud access, but they do have plans that you can subscribe to that get you a higher level of functionality that they do charge for. But base connectivity, no, they do not. All right, any more questions here this morning? I'm seeing like 50 people watching, and I'm only seeing like 25 thumbs up, so make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. If you need to get in contact with us, down below there's a link to my channel. We also have the community. If you're not part of the community, come on over to community.williehowe.com and check that out. So I'm going to actually, one thing that I've got to do to this video while we are, let's see, paid promotion. Yes, I just marked the paid promotion. And so I've seen a lot of creators, and I'm not, here's what I'm saying is like, I'm trying to follow the rules, right? You'll see that there are some creators that Ubiquiti sends them stuff and they're like, well, they're not paying me to do the video. And so they don't, do the includes paid promotion or things like that. But if you read the rules, if we're sent something for free, and we get to keep it, then we're supposed to tag that. And I know people aren't sending their stuff back. I'm just trying to follow the rules. Your mileage may vary. So, all right, what else do we have? Yeah, Jeremy says, I'm glad to hear EdgeOS is actually happening. It's supposed to, but you've seen how long I've been paused on my UISP videos because I'm waiting for that 3.0 to drop. So hopefully it'll drop soon. They dropped that Edge Switch update. I did a video on it, and then they pulled it because there were people having problems. So Dave Robertson says, I've got close to 20 GWN layer 3 switches deployed and love them. They are fantastic. And the GCC series, I can't wait until we see what the yearly cost is going to be for those licenses. I can't expect that it's going to be crazy. But we're going to deploy a lot of GCC devices, especially in companies that are serious about their cyber liability insurance. You're going to start seeing these types of devices deployed. And it's nice to have IDS, IPS, and it's nice to have country blocking and things like that. But that SSL inspection actually takes that stuff and brings it up. And you've got anti-malware built in and stuff like that. It's amazing. Yeah, and the price point on all of the GrandStream stuff is fantastic. Sash, good morning. All right, we've been streaming for about 35 minutes. Go ahead and get anything else in that you, any questions or anything you've got real quick, because I am probably going to be wrapping it up here like in just a minute or two. So go ahead and ask your questions, and we'll see if we can get those answered. Let's see, any more questions? Starting to, I know this was a real impromptu stream this morning. Good morning, Brian. LU Pike says, I saw the video with the Ubiquiti Edge router with 0 tier and survivability. LU Pike. Yep. And 0 tier and survivability with upgrades or lack of. Any ideas on the next update? I'm done with that project. Sometimes when you're working on a project, you just get a vibe from people. And I feel that it was better for me to willingly walk away from this. There was a couple personalities that I thought if I stayed in the project, I was really going to clash with, and I'm not about that. I don't want any drama. And I'm a strong-willed person, don't get me wrong, and I'm very good at what I do. But I'm not going to stick around and have somebody run roughshod over a project or get involved in part of the project that they're not. I just don't have time for the drama, right? And we're all adults and stuff. So for that project, it was better for me to just go, okay, like we're at a breaking point in our engagement. Like we've used all the time that you've bought. I'm sorry, I cannot continue this project. And I had a very frank discussion with the customer of why I was not going to proceed, because someone else very obviously wanted to take leadership of the project. And so I walked away from that. So yeah. And the thing is, right, if you've got your edge router out there, you should be keeping the operating system up to date. So I don't know if, I don't know. I'm sure there's a way, because I was reading that there was a way, but I stopped the experimenting and things like that. What am I grilling today? I'm not grilling anything today. Yeah, 10 gig interfaces on those switches are fantastic. Collapsed core, would you use them for small business? Yeah, so it depends on how small, Jack, you're talking about. But a lot of your smaller companies, let's say maybe up to 25 users, workstations, stuff like that, you probably are collapsed, right? You probably have a router and you probably have a switch, right? And everything is right there. You're not going, you're not building out MDFs, and you're not, building out towards the edge where you might have several layers. And, network topology design, you start getting into leafs and spines, and you start getting into all these different ways that you can configure things. And a small business, a medium business, a college campus is going to be completely different. I ran into something yesterday that I've never run into before, and I actually think I had the guy walk me through it. So there's some schools that I've been talking to, and instead of traditional switches, they actually have GPON deployed, and he showed me, right? So he's got a chassis, they've got cards, and then at the wall they've got like this the ONT at the wall has like 4 ports, and you can put different VLANs on the ports and stuff like that. It's absolutely, it's actually kind of brilliant, right? Because you run fiber to the classroom, and if you run the right fiber, that fiber is going to last you a long time, and you're going to be able to upgrade it and just keep bumping the speeds when you need to. And it worked really well. And he said that other network engineers have told him you should rip all this stuff out and everything. And actually I was like, no, this is brilliant. They're getting ready to upgrade to 10 gig backbone to all the classrooms. So David Anderson says, you still planning on training crows? I am. I have been feeding the crows, and I still am planning on training them. I don't think anybody wants to see videos of that, though. That's that stuff that I do when I'm not doing all this. Robert says, heard of any rough timelines for 2.5 gig PoE Grandstream switches? I have not. Grandstream keeps a lot of that stuff pretty close to the cuff. As far as I know, the beta program doesn't even exist in the US anymore. I think it's in Vietnam. And I've asked them to reinstate that and to get some of this gear because we would like to get a look at it early to help them avoid any bugs in the US. So we'll see how that works out. So, all right. Well, I want to thank all of you for being here. We've been going 40 minutes. Thanks for being here this morning. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And if you need any consulting, if you need any of those things, head on over to williehowe.com. Like I said, join the community if you're not over there. And yeah, thanks for spending some time this Saturday with me. And I'm going to go to a dark screen here, and we're going to fade out. Everybody have a great Saturday. Be good at what you do. And I'll see you in the next video.